You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, we got an update from this morning on the future of one Kevin Stefanski. That's right, the head football coach of one Cleveland Browns. We also got Shedeur Sanders talking about his performance this past week and recognizing the fact that he does have to get better. Now, I don't know who the hell I was listening to the other day, but I heard somebody compare Shedeur to, or Shedeur's ceiling was Tua Tagovailoa, and I could not disagree more with that. Tua Tagovailoa has arguably the worst arm in all of the NFL. Shedeur Sanders' ceiling is Kirk Cousins. Now, you may be like, well, Kirk Cousins is a 4-time Pro Bowler, and he's won a lot of games, and I just counted up 7 4,000-yard seasons in his career, and a whole lot of 25-plus touchdown seasons. Problem is, Kirk Cousins was on some teams that weren't well-rounded, actually. And so he never got that deep playoff run. And not only that, but being a Niners fan, look, Kyle Shanahan's favorite quarterback in the NFL is Kirk Cousins. And he wanted Kirk Cousins until John Lynch came to him and said, look, we got a chance to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. Do you want to do it? And the Niners were, I think at that point, 0-8 that season, 0-9. And Kyle was like, yeah, let's go get him. By the way, Garoppolo set for 2 weeks learning Kyle's system, and then he went in and he won 6 games in a row. They finished. They were when Jimmy got inserted into the lineup, the Niners were 0-11. And they finished 6-11. They won 6 games in a row. That's sort of the power of Kyle Shanahan. Speaking of guys that are viewed a certain way across the league, this is getting interesting because Browns fans do not want. I don't think Browns fans care about he's going to get another job. I know. I believe it was Albert Breer that I heard literally day before yesterday say, if Stefanski gets let go, there's a really good chance Kevin Stefanski's the number 1 contender for the Giants job. And Connor Orr agreed with him. He said, yeah, that's very possible. That he's going to be a commodity, a hot commodity. And a couple of things. It's the Deshaun Watson trade. It's the fact that with the quarterback situation, this guy was able to go to the playoffs twice. It's the Browns organization in general where nobody's ever succeeded. But this guy went to the playoffs twice. So a lot of other franchises are looking at this guy and they're like, he can coach. The problem is, you look at the schedule, they look like they're about to go 3-14. Well, you can't go 3-14 in back-to-back years and survive that. But believe it or not, I think he's viewed in the same way that Vrabel was viewed. In other words, Vrabel had success with the Titans. The Titans got angry over a record. Plus, you throw in the fact they didn't love him being at his ring of honor, which, well, I mean, he got his jersey retired for the Patriots, but that Titans owner got angry and fired Vrabel over that. And obviously most people believe that, looking at what he's doing with the Patriots, that was a huge mistake for the Titans. And I think other teams view Stefanski getting fired as potentially a huge mistake by the Browns. But I got to be real. If you listen to Stefanski as of late, he sounds like a guy that's ready to go somewhere else too. Like, he sounds like, I'm good. I'm ready to go on. Like, he knows I'm going to get a job somewhere else. I don't want. He just sounds very dead man walking like when he speaks. Like there's just so little emotion out of Kevin Stefanski now. No final decision has been made yet on head coach Kevin Stefanski's future with the Browns, per Ian Rappaport, per Tom Pelissero. If Jimmy Haslam decides to move on, they mentioned that Stefanski would be a top candidate on the market. And that, like I said, it seems like Albert Breer, when I was listening to, they did on the MMQB podcast just a couple of days ago, they did a top coaching candidate show. And they both were like, yeah, Stefanski will go to the top of the list. I'm sure for Browns fans, that just sounds wild. That sounds wild. So, Shedeur Sanders, this is what he said about his games, having 3 games left, what needs to happen. Sanders acknowledged that his performance against the Bears was unacceptable. Quote, I just got to play better, Sanders said on Wednesday, via Chris Easterling of the Akron Beacon Journal. Yeah, I cannot make those costly turnovers and have the expectation to win. I just have to get more completions. I have to get more completions, and even whenever we're down or anything, I can't press. I just got to remain having those mental notes to myself. Just work within the game, just keep driving the ball, get first downs. I'm going to tell you, and I've said this for a couple of months, Shedeur Sanders is getting more, he's got much better self-awareness than he had 3 months ago. His self-awareness has improved. He's saying the right things. You got to recognize that. At the same time, Sanders knows that's he's got nowhere to go but up. He is adamant that this is, quote, the worst it gets and that he will only get better. Quote, well, I'm excited that I'm able to get everybody's best. I'm excited about that. That makes me proud that I have that. I'm just getting in the league, my feet settled and everything, so I get excited knowing I'm able to face those challenges, because you got to understand, this year right here, this is the worst it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this foundation. This is where I'm building from. This is where I'm understanding different things. This is where everything's translating for me. So I'm excited about it. I'm extremely excited about it because I know we're going to get him. I know we're going to get him eventually. I don't know what him is, but I would assume he would figure it out. Now, back to Stefanski. I'm going to tell you one thing that doesn't help him. If for no other reason than he can throw a much better deep ball and has better playmaking abilities. Kevin Stefanski made a serious mistake not going to Shedeur Sanders like 3 weeks earlier, 5 weeks earlier. I mean, I don't know what to tell you if you can't watch these games and blatantly see the playmaking talent difference between Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. And I'm not trying to shit on Dillon Gabriel. I actually kind of liked him coming out of Oregon, but he's just too small. He's just too small. Now, you want to compare a rookie to Tua, that's the one you want to compare to Tua, because they both have below league size and below league arm strength. So that's your comparison, I can't remember who said that, and I was like, no, that's not right. Kirk Cousins and Shedeur Sanders that's immediately who I thought of when he was coming out in the draft. I was like, he reminds me a lot of Kirk Cousins. Very accurate in college, but, Kirk's good at hitting short and intermediate passes. That's been a little bit of a struggle for Shedeur, but Shedeur throws a better deep ball than Kirk Cousins. but they got comparable size. I think Kirk's 6'3", Shedeur's 6'2". I mean, Tua's 5'11", much better arm than Tua. So anyway, I didn't quite understand that one. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.